Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the Overflow. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, your favorite Hatman.
And this is the show where every week we get to the questions that we sadly were not able to get to during the Q&A sections of our podcasts. So let's go ahead and get right to it. Can we start with politics so we can end on a happier note?
I think we did that last time, but let's do it.
All right. Well, I'm going to start from the bottom and move my way up. So Dank Horse Elric. Now, wait a minute. Last I heard from this guy, I was a homophobic something or other hypocrite.
I should probably let you in on a little thing that he sent.
Yes.
He sent a very long and sincere apology for everything. And he assumed that he was basically not welcome back, and I was like, nah, dude, you're welcome back. It's okay. But yes, our Dank Horse is cool in my book.
Okay. I will just say this. I do not hate you at all. I don't care who you have sex with. But at the same time, some things, we're going to disagree on. If you disagree with me on something, the last thing you want to do is act like I actually give a damn about who you have sex with, especially from a legal perspective, because that's a definite I don't give a shit from me, or anything along those lines. You don't make those assumptions about me, you don't give me that sort of discredit, then we're fine. So his question is, from what I read, China's strict regulations on video games, such as content censorship, playtime limits, social credit, are hampering its domestic games market. To circumvent this, many large Chinese game companies have resorted to buying and investing in Western companies that are not beholden to these rules. Meanwhile, Western companies are dying to break into the Chinese markets to satisfy the investors' demand for untenable growth and are willing to acquiesce to Chinese censorship in order to do so. Is the game industry about to be consumed by an Ouroboros of suck? Well, and that's the general issue with that market is, it's no wonder that the Chinese are going to be fucking pissed that their government continues to censor shit when especially shit they can make a profit off of. Mm-hmm. Because again, this is capitalism, whether the Chinese like it or not, all the big nations that they want to trade with are capitalistic nations.
I mean, China, for all intents and purposes, is more capitalist than communist. They're just communist in the whole totalitarian regime thing.
Yeah, they like to pretend, play at communism, and as such, they tend to fuck with the people who are trying to make money too much. What?
China might be the only example of not real communism.
Nah. But in all seriousness, though, yeah, that's what it's gonna put you into. I mean, you're not wrong there, Elric. There is a general idea that if you're, and I just did a video about this, oddly enough, is that if you're going to get into a market, what matters most is the audience, and what the audience wants. We're experiencing that with Inglewood, and we'll actually give a quick update on Inglewood here in a minute. Actually, we'll do that at the end of the at the end of the show.
Yeah, let's just do that.
You have to be willing to put what or into the market and fill a void. My whole thing is I came to this conclusion today is to, going into the comic book market as a street level writer, I have to be willing to try to make Tom King look like an asshole. Which, according to some people who have backed Inglewood, that's not going to be hard. I don't dislike Tom King at all. I think that I like his style of Batman story. I think that there's a place for a Tom King Batman, in the same way I think that there's a place for a Brian Edward Hill Batman. It's two different types of storytelling. If you don't like one, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. I will say that I don't write that cerebral, and when I do, it's still packed with a fuck ton of action. So, because I do like to get into the deeper shit. But anyway, discussion for another time. But yeah, that's basically what we're looking forward to, is these companies that start to acquiesce to the Chinese, they're going to find that here in America, they're going to start losing profits because of that. Whereas, China, they're going to face the exact same issue. It stems from the same level of stupidity, just applied in different ways.
Yeah. I mean, and China's censorship policy is not the same kind like Germany, Australia had.
Yeah.
Because remember, back in the day, those were the two big things. If your game was censored in international markets, just because of Germany or Australia, that caused a shitstorm.
Yeah.
But now it's like, China is a big, viable market. Now console manufacturers are able to ship there, for the first time in fucking ages.
Yeah.
So it's a lucrative market, but unfortunately you've got those stupid ass regulations like no ghosts. No Luigi's Mansion, China.
Yep.
You don't get it.
Diego Camacho asks, thoughts on Ordo Militaris Incorporated, the Catholic PMS, I think he means PMC, charity dedicated to fighting Christian persecution. I have
never heard of him.
Never heard of this. This sounds like something on a fucking Warhammer. So let's look at this real quick. I'm curious as to live reaction from Micah. So let's look at this. Ordo Militaris Catholicus is an international defense and security initiative of Catholics for Catholics who are suffering persecution for their faith, where their defense and liberation requires military intervention or security actions, and this is allowed by local and or international law. We were founded in the days following the martyrdom of Father Jacques Hamel, July 26, 2016 AD, by Brother Alexis Buñuelo, a Franciscan hermit. In the USA, the order has founded a Montana corporation with the legal name Ordo Militaris Incorporated as a PMC to conduct the defense and security initiatives that the association seeks to undertake. To know how, blah, 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 blah. So, this is interesting. I don't like that it's just Catholics. Like that's a little... ouch. What about the Coptics? What about, missionaries who aren't Catholic, who are going over to spread the word of Jesus? What about them? It's that I'm not a fan of. But then again, this is the Catholics we're talking about. It's far too secluded. That's another reason I don't like Catholicism. Regardless, I don't think it's a necessarily bad thing. I mean, I've never understood why ministers going to foreign lands don't have a gun. Like, seriously. Sometimes
you need to defend yourself.
Yeah, like my dad always found that a little weird too. He said, I can't go overseas. I'm like, why not? He's like, because I would bring a gun because I'm not stupid. Because that's the truth. Some nations, they'll kill you for being a Christian. But yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. I wish they would do security for just missionaries in general, Christian missionaries. But whatever. So I was all there until it said it was Catholics. I'm like, motherfucker. Okay. So next question. Oh, Hatman, what do you think?
It does kind of sound like something out of Warhammer, doesn't it?
Yeah. Nothing else?
God built. No, we have the exclusive rights on the Exterminatus.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Fucking papists. All right, next question. Brian Gilmartin asks, should people stop talking about racism since the issue only seems to make people violently authoritarian and want to jail or kill one another? Well,
yes.
I think you should stop accusing people of racism who aren't racist. That's trying to manipulate people, and that's fucked up.
Intersectionality was a fucking mistake.
Yes, completely agree.
Because intersectionality, basically, and doing some recent reading on this, that has basically enabled identity politics to become what it is today. And let's be real, it's more of a separatist movement than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's ironic how black liberation, women's queer liberation, all that shit is more, or has more in common with nationalist movements than anything else. It is so fucking weird.
I don't find it that weird. Any
weird.
movement that is based purely on identity will inevitably lash out against others. It's inevitable.
It's weird. It's weird in the sense that they speak out so strongly against any form of nationalism, and a lot of them are straight anti-statist, and yet they're separatist movements.
Well, yeah,
they are essentially nationalist movements of their own, which is contradictory.
Well, and that's the thing that they don't understand. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. That's why when we started this channel, why we spoke out so much against ethnic-based nationalism and those sorts of things, is because it always leads to conflict. You know, I remember how the most when we did the post Charlottesville show with Aiden, I think the one thing that all three of us agreed on is like that the thing that we hated the most was that we weren't surprised.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it leads. You know, it always leads to violence. Always leads to violence. You know, it doesn't surprise it doesn't surprise me that these people are sick in the head either. Like Richard, another unsurprising thing, Richard Spencer, wife beater. Could have called that a fucking mile away.
Mm-hmm. Imagine my shock.
So
it's intersectionality, identity politics, were a fucking mistake. Stop trying to counter one extreme with another extreme. That's not how it works. Society is not in need of a counterbalance, you dumb fucks.
Yeah, that's not how anything works.
No.
All right.
Yes.
Physics Hypernova asks, do you think Biden will be the nominee, or will Harris or Warren come out of nowhere? A Warren versus Trump election would be hilarious. Yes, it would. Biden's going to be the nominee.
I'm still holding fast to Harris.
He's still polling very strong. Again, the debates, he has not lost anything. Everybody has been pulling from Bernie.
Yes, he has.
He hasn't lost. Well, not.
No.
He hasn't lost the lead, I should say.
No, he hasn't lost the lead. He's lost several points to Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren, and Bernie has since slid to fourth in the polls.
Okay, so they pulled from both pools then.
Yes, for the most part, yes.
But nobody has. No, Bernie is the one who has slipped the most.
Yeah. And
I think the reason for that, real quick, I think the reason for that is that Kamala Harris's positions and Elizabeth Warren's positions are not very different than Bernie Sanders's, but they tick the intersectional check marks. He does not. Now, what were you going to say about Biden?
Biden has been playing defense a lot more lately.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually was compelled to apologize for working with segregationists.
Yeah, and the more he apologizes, the worse he does.
Yeah, he's at this point, he's playing too much defense. He's not able to get any sort of ideas out. He's on the back foot.
Yeah,
and that's not going to work out in his favor.
Yeah, he's got to go on offense.
I think Kamala Harris is going to capitalize on that.
Yeah, he has to go on offense.
The biggest things against her that are keeping, one, the progressives from getting on her side, and two, the moderates from getting on her side are, she's a fucking cop, and she basically slept her way to power.
Yeah.
And no one's going to deny either one of those fuck things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that really, if there is a sleeper, it is Warren, more so than Harris. But yeah, Warren would be eaten alive by Donald Trump, because basically what he's going to say is, you didn't like Hillary Clinton, this is the same thing all over again.
Yep.
And he might as well just not really, but that'll be his strategy.
Kirsten Gillibrand would be Hillary Clinton all over again.
But I mean, we're already starting to see people drop out. Eric Swalwell just dropped out. That was hilarious.
Thank God. Now he can go back to shit posting on Twitter.
Never harass people, folks. But if you
don't, please.
Never ever. But if he says something stupid, you are more than welcome to remind him that you would rather have a bag of chips than donate to him.
Hey, just remember, he can't block you for it either.
That's true.
According to the court ruling that just came out today, Tuesday that we're recording this, if you're an elected official, you can't block people on social media for criticizing you for being a dumbass.
That's hilarious, but it's also fucked up, but it's hilarious. The what is the but yeah, if you just want to like, if you ever want to just like throw an image of a bag of chips at Eric Swalwell, I'm just gonna laugh. I'm not gonna. I don't think that's harassment. I think that's just being. That's just getting memed on.
Send pictures of yourselves eating Pringles.
I approve of this, especially if they're barbecue Pringles, because those are great. I wish I wasn't back on keto now. God damn it. That's the hardest thing about keto. You can't have potatoes. I love potatoes.
Yeah. Oh God, I wouldn't be able to do it. I won't be able to do it. You can't have rice either, can you?
No. My goal is to slim back down.
Nope, can't do it.
And build up the habit of working out just a little bit every day, like 15 minutes every day, and then getting off keto.
Mm-hmm.
Just burn it, because the keto burns fat, and if you burn it off, and you just. I have a cousin who did something similar, and she was never a heavy girl, but she burned off a ton of weight, and then now because she has the habit of working out every day, and she eats, and just has a couple of cheat days a week, she's just not going crazy about it. So I'm like, that's the goal for me. It's like I could do like a keto or low carb diet 5 days of the week, and then have fun on the weekends. I'd be kosher. All right. Incel Mafioso asks, thoughts on the claims that political cartooning is dying? No, I don't agree with that, because there's still quite a few right-wing political cartoonists that are really, really good and very funny at what they do. No, very funny and really good at what they do. Got my sentences mixed up there. I think on the left it's starting to die, because what the left is putting forward is like fucking psychopathic sometimes.
Well, it's not even that. It's just, it's low tier shit. Like you keep seeing the same, Cheeto orange Trump or tiny hands or whatever. It's like, for God's sake, like Obama's big shtick for a while was big ears, but not every cartoonist drew him like that.
Yeah.
Like, come the fuck on. Have some originality.
Well, and not to mention, like, the ones that are, it seems like they can't really do anything stinging without really crossing a line. But that's because Trump, policy-wise, is not a bad president in the least. Like, he's got no military anything that you can really criticize him for outside of the Syria thing, and even then we didn't go to war. And then, like, the wall, like, you're not polling well. Like, there was a political cartoonist who got fired recently because of that image of the man who brought a child to the border and they died while trying to cross. It was a picture, it was a drawing of Trump, like, saying, mind if I play through to the dead bodies? And then they're like, yeah, that crosses a line, you're fired. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But that's the thing, is like they have to go very low. And by going very low, you do stuff that American people are just going to give you the finger for, and your paper will stop selling copies. Or your website will stop getting clicks. And they can't have that. I think that's the economic reality that a bunch of leftists are starting to find, is that their message is not economically palpable. So I think it's where the whole get woke, go broke thing has come from,
Yep.
Autist Whisper wants to know, thoughts on Kamala Harris offering $100 billion in home ownership assistance for black families to get a home as a means of racial equality. So you're going to crash the housing market again. You dumbass.
I love how the Democrats, like the top Democrats now, are literally trying to bribe people for their votes.
They really are. That's the only thing that they have is free shit.
It's hilarious. Who is going to give away the most free shit? If somebody, like, straight up says, I won't give you anything else except for a free barrel of whiskey, I might consider voting for them.
Christ. In all seriousness, though, it's like you cannot throw money at a situation and assume that it's going to work. We have thrown billions at education, and then we scratch our heads as to why the schools fail. It's because the teachers are shit. There's no competition. You know, we wonder why all these other public programs don't help the economy. It's because Keynesian economics are bullshit. They don't fucking work. Mixed economies don't work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel for the plight of people who are poor because I am poor. It sucks. But even then, being poor in America, I've got good internet, a crap ton of computer stuff, and I live a pretty decent life. You know, I'm poor in comparison. I'm not really that poor, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And some of it's just old debt that's my own damn fault. Don't get married early. So, when it comes right down to it, the what she would do is she would end up crashing the housing market. You know, all these people that are going to get home loans that are going to be subprime loans that they're not going to be able to pay back, and they're going to go bankrupt, and then all these houses are going to start selling for nothing on the market, and it's just going to crash all over again. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. And by the way, I'm not saying that black people can't afford a mortgage. I know plenty of black people who can afford a mortgage. It's giving something to people who haven't earned it. Not everybody who is poor because some sort of socioeconomic complication. Some people are just fucking bad with money. Myself included. The only reason that I can eat is because I've gotten better with money with age. You know? Not to mention I'm also... Admittedly, I'm making less money because 25% of my paycheck goes into my 401k. So that's a lot of money I'm not spending on a weekly basis. It's sitting in an account somewhere. So, but yeah, it's a stupid idea. And it's just a... Don't just give away free shit and tax the people who are working. You're going to take away all the incentives to work. All right. Final one for politics. With how many journos that bashed and hated America this 4th of July, would you be for giving the retards money to move the fuck to Venezuela or Canada or anywhere else? Yes. Get them the fuck out of here. Just deport them. I am... If Donald Trump really wants to win the presidency, offer to deport all journalists. Just fucking get rid of them. Christ. In all seriousness, though, I think of people like Gabby Martin, who has been on the Joe Rogan show twice and lied through her fucking teeth about Venezuela because she's being paid by the Venezuelans to lie through her fucking teeth about Venezuela. And she would lie about Palestine, and she would lie about Israel, and lie about Iran, and all this other stuff. That's today's journalist. There's no... To my recollection, Hatman, can you think of a left-leaning journalist that would disagree with her perspectives?
With whose
Abby Martin. Pro-Venezuela, anti-Israel, pro-Palestine, pro-Iran. And willing to lie about it.
Really?
Maybe Andy No?
I can't really think of one. Maybe?
No, I would think Andy No, but because of the Overton window being shifted, can you really consider Andy No that much of the left anymore? Or anybody over at Quillette?
It's maybe Glenn Greenwald, but even then, he's fairly certain he's explicitly pro-Palestine. I got nothing.
I can't think of a major left-leaning journalist that disagrees with that sentiment. They are blatantly anti-American at this point, and it's disgusting. It's like you you don't want America to be America. Well, why are you here? Like, a good chunk of these people who, like, Abby Martin again is getting paid buku bucks by the Venezuelans to lie to Americans. She could afford to move to Venezuela and live amongst the rest of the rich fucking psychos that run that country. You know, like, Jim Acosta could move to Canada and probably enjoy himself a lot more sucking Trudeau's cock. You know, like, give me a fucking break. The left is just crazy. I don't like it. I want to talk about entertainment now.
Let's talk about entertainment.
Christ. Okay. Crystal Wing wants to know, can you add your own lore to D&D creatures? If so, me and my friends will be adding the Iron Golems to a fantasy version of Autobots and Decepticons to our D&D world. Go nuts. That's the cool thing about D&D. You can pretty much do whatever the hell you want with it.
Robots in disguise.
Autis Whisperer wants to know, thoughts on Blizzard toning down the sexiness and violence in their Hearthstone cards. People suspect it's because of China. Probably.
No.
No?
No. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say it's because esports.
Really?
Because Magic Arena has largely overtaken Hearthstone as the new card battling game. Or digital trading card game, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I think that's to try and get more eyes on it, try and make it more fan friendly, try to put it back in the esport light. I don't think it's because of China.
No, to each their own.
Magic Arena sucks, by the way. I don't know what the hell Watsy was thinking. Paper Magic is on its way out anyway. So. Listen, hobby's quick.
Yeah. A lot of it's converting to digital.
Well, it's not just that. There's a lot of companies that I don't want to give them money anymore. Like I basically have what Magic cards I have, and I'm buying new product simply because Wizards of the Coast has gone all in on the social justice progressive stack thing. I mean, straight up to the point where the old pros who would play on, before they fucked over the pro circuits, now they're bringing in people who stream Magic Arena on Twitch, and they're doing it straight up based on who's the most bursts. As in, we will kick out someone who's literally in the Magic Hall of Fame from this pro tour or this pro level event to bring in a trans streamer. And it's fucking stupid.
I would agree with that. It's like, here's a way to not make money.
Yeah, pretty much.
Eclectic wants to know, what are our opinions of the man Walt Disney? What do you think he'd think about his company and what it's become? I don't know. Hammond, I'm going to let you answer this one because I'm not sure.
I like the man. I have a very positive opinion of the man. I did a lot of research into his life growing up. I had to write several biographical papers, and of course I chose him, being a lover of animation way back in the day. Ironically, that was really what my first dream job was, a Disney animator. But anyway, I don't know what he would think about what Disney has become. I think in a way he would be disappointed in the lack of originality. I think he'd be like all over Pixar. But like the lack of doing things new. The live action remakes, I think, would would not happen if Walt were some inexplicable reason still around. I don't think that would happen at all. I think a lot of I think a lot of the Disney parks would be different. Um, there would still be a lot of attractions based on properties that they have. Um, I think there'd be a lot more like originality into, and not just generic roller coaster with brand names slapped onto it. As far as like acquiring Marvel, Lucasfilm, 20th Century Fox, etc., etc., I don't know how he'd feel about that. I really, really don't. Because Walt as a businessman really depended on quality more than anything else. Quality was what made the game and innovating. I mean, that's the whole reason why we've got, animatronics all over the Disney parks and whatnot. And that's part of the reason why they're so fucking good right now. So I don't know if he would have bought them out. I think Pixar almost certainly would have been acquired just because he would have recognized, the sheer talent in there. God, he probably would have been like real fucking close with John Lasseter. But I don't know about the other acquisitions. That's the thing. I don't really know. I think it's just a different sort of time period. I mean, even going back to things like ABC and ESPN, I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, I really couldn't say either. I'm of the opinion that Disney is kind of spreading itself too thin. And they're making a lot of really dumb mistakes that if they had a little bit more, if they had better people leading each division, I think that they would be doing much better at. Mm-hmm. Like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I only believe like maybe 25% of the articles that come out about it right now. Maybe 25%. Because a lot of the ones from the past that have come out have been largely bullshit. Or have had no effect on the films at all. Like, remember when people thought Punisher 2 was going to be woke? Well, that didn't work. That didn't fucking happen. And there's been other stuff as well that I'm probably forgetting that I know I've done videos on. The press wants it to go that direction. But let's not pretend that they didn't see the backlash behind Captain Marvel. The reason that they have not recast Brie Larson, the reason that they're going to go ahead with her probably for another film, is because they also remember that Thor: The Dark World happened. And they bounced back from that.
Yeah.
So I think that if the next Captain Marvel bombs, or if it underperforms, then likely they'll probably rethink where they're going with it. Because have the numbers come out from Far From Home yet?
I can check.
I'm curious as to what their box office was.
The next Captain Marvel is going to prove whether or not the first one was a fluke.
Yeah, pretty much.
Spider-Man Far From Home delivers record $185 million opening.
So that's not bad.
Domestic total as of today, $195,940.
So that's good.
I'm sorry, $195,940,000. foreign is at just under 400 million.
Yeah, so that's better than what Captain Marvel did. Captain Marvel opening weekend did 153 million domestic, 302 million international.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, keep in mind this movie's been out for a week now.
Yeah. So, and it's doing better than Captain Marvel did, which is good. I mean, again, like I've said, what you need to do is you need to strap a rocket pack on Tom Holland and send him to the fucking moon. You know, the next thing, though, that is that, in my opinion, the only way you're ever going to get Avengers-level box office, Spider-Man and Venom. Only way it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Venom was a big hit, too. So, because you try to force another Avengers movie, nobody's going to show up.
Yeah.
Because Cap is old, and Tony's dead. So...
Far From Home actually beat out Spider-Man 2 for July 4th weekends.
Nice.
Second only to Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, apparently they're doing apparently it's a much better film than Homecoming was, and the Michelle Jones character is a lot better than she was in the last movie too. A lot more likable. Which is good because she was fucking insufferable in that last movie.
Oh god, and in the last one, I was convinced that she was not real, that she was just a hallucination.
Yeah, like, she was bad. So
she was very bad.
But no, I'm told that the writing and direction's a lot better. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if the reason for that is because Amy What's-Her-Face was on the way out of Sony. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
Possible. We'll see what happens.
No, on the flip side, she was also the biggest supporter of a Spider-Man Venom movie. But then again, it wouldn't surprise me if Sony's like, yeah, we need to do that.
To be fair, she wanted to do that because she was like pushing big time for a Sony Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, remember that she wanted that Black Cat and Silver Sable team-up movie.
Which wouldn't have done anything. Can't have Black Cat without Spider-Man. You could probably do like Silver Sable and something, but you can't have Black Cat without Spider-Man. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yep.
Incel Mafioso, thoughts on the publisher of Devotion having their business license removed by the Chinese government for endangering national security. A lot of questions about China this week.
Yeah, seriously.
Should I just start playing China Grove by the Doobie Brothers? I
suppose it's better than Chinese democracy.
True.
We don't talk about Chinese democracy. It should have remained a fucking vapor album.
Yeah, it's bullshit. That's all I really have to say about it. Diego Camacho says, best DBZ villain. Why is it Frieza?
Not Frieza, it's Cell.
I was about to say, I like Cell better.
I've always liked Cell better. I thought Cell was way more of a threat than Frieza was because the single aspect of he is made from the DNA of every major fighter up to that point, including Frieza and King Cold. And on top of that, he was able to not only take out the supposed big bads of that saga, the androids, but he was able to absorb their fucking power too.
Yeah.
And he actually killed Goku.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cell is a lot more. He's a much better villain in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the abridged version is great too.
Oh god,
look at me! I'm Trunks! Please love me, Dad! See, anyone can do it. That's such a great moment. Okay. Let's see here. Ultimate Agent wants to know, thoughts on Spider-Man Noir as a character? Overrated. I didn't think the book was that good. The problem that I have with Spider-Man Noir is it's basically trying to be Spider-Batman.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's trying to do.
I don't like that. Spider-Man is his own thing.
It's almost Spider-Man by gaslight.
In a sense, yeah. See, my whole thing is, if you're gonna do edgy Spider-Man, we've already got Spidey 2099,
Yeah,
and he has a much cooler costume.
yeah. The problem is it's not as pulpy as it should be.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. You know, if it had actually been written like a film noir story, I would have been all over it. But it wasn't. It was written like Batman. Spider-Man is not Batman. Stop trying to make him Batman. No. We already have Batman. If there's a Marvel character you want to write like Batman, you got fucking Moon Knight.
Okay, real talk. Where the fuck how do you know about Moon Knight come?
I don't know.
Because I swear to God, I've seen that like a handful of times in the old Marvel mailbags, and I don't know where the fuck it started, or what the fuck it even means. I cannot find any trace of it online or anything. But it's always, how do you, italicized, know about Moon Knight?
I don't know. I don't remember. I've heard it.
Somebody in the comments. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy, because I've heard of it. It's probably from like an early run of the book.
It might have been. I don't fucking know.
Let's see here. Tom the Fish wants to know thoughts and reaction to River City Girls. It looks like a video game.
Yeah. That's about all I got. I saw it on Twitter, and those boys look a lot like Yusuke Urameshi and Kuwabara.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's River City Ma'am. Oh, I'm terrible.
Oh my fucking God.
Anyway, Magical Robot Prisma asks, at the risk of being caught in an exterminatus, how would you write magical girls?
Shields up.
Yeah.
We have arrived, and it is now that we fulfill our charge. In fealty to the Lord our God, and by the grace of his throne, I declare exterminatus upon whatever scumbag we're declaring exterminatus on today. I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire wherever, and consign 1,000,000 souls, maybe, to oblivion. May imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult, Deus vult.
Okay, how would I write magical girls? So you know the Eclipse in Berserk? That would be part 1.
Oh God. So basically,
I would kill all of them.
So basically, a Perpetual Beach episode.
In the worst way. Let's see here. Ugly Media wants to know, how would we write evil versions like Earth 3 of Marvel characters like Wolverine, Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Venom, Thanos, and of course Thanos is already evil. so good Thanos. That would be an interesting one. Is to write a superhero Thanos, where he's like one person. He comes to Earth, searching for the Infinity Stones to take away the tyranny of the heroes. You have evil like Wolverine, Captain
Thanos.
What?
So MCU Thanos?
Well, no, Thanos like he sees himself in the MCU.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Thanos in the MCU whoops did nothing wrong at all.
Well, no, he did do one thing wrong. He didn't snap Captain Marvel. Michael was right. Anyway, here's the problem with Marvel. You're saying evil versions of Marvel characters. Now listen to what I'm going to say. Like Sabretooth, Red Guardian, Crimson Dynamo, the Abomination, and Venom. Marvel has a lot of characters that are the bad guys of heroes that are dark reflections. That is part of the reason as to why you see a lot of that in the MCU, is because a lot of villains are like that in Marvel Comics. Is they are dark reflections of the character because the morality of the character is such a big part of their characterization. Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of the issue, is that it would be very hard for me to... I would have to sit down and figure out unique ways to make each of these characters fucking evil. You know, without making them Sabretooth, Red Guardian, you know, Crimson Dynamo, or the Titanium Man, you know, Venom, or Carnage, or something like that. Like that would be the tough part. Because like you want a villain, like he listed Venom in there too. Like you want a villain as Venom, go back to Amazing Spider-Man 300, you know, because he started as a villain. He became an anti-hero after Amazing Spider-Man 363. Mostly because of how popular he was.
Secret Empire Captain America is technically evil. Technically evil? It's like saying technically Nazi. Well, no, I'm saying technically because it wasn't even real, technically.
Oh, okay, so, yeah. God, fucking
because they had cubes. To pull something out of their ass. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Well, yeah, and that's the funny thing is, like, they started it as... Oh, it is Steve. They rewrote his history, and then later on, they're like, no. The real Steve is in the Cosmic Cube.
They had to pull something out of their ass just because everyone got so pissed off at it.
Of course they did, because it's like it was the biggest slap in the face in comic book history to say that Captain America, the symbol of all that is right in comics, plus the symbol of America, is actually a goose-stepping Nazi.
I don't know, man. One More Day is also pretty big.
I would say it's actually a bigger slap in the face than One More Day.
Wow.
And here's why. Here's why. Context. When did Secret Empire happen? Right around the election.
Yep.
I would say in fiction, it is one of the biggest pieces of Trump derangement syndrome you will ever read.
And it fed into Ta-Nehisi Coates' shit run, too.
Yeah, now Ta-Nehisi Coates is referencing it and making it a big point of his Captain America run. And hopefully nobody is fucking wondering why his sales continue to drop. Captain America doesn't even ship 40,000 comics a month anymore.
Once again, you've turned an A-lister into a D-lister.
Yeah. Ta-Nehisi, like, Nick Spencer's Steve Rogers Captain America was shipping at least 60 each per month. 60,000. Spawn ships 50. Spawn! Spawn in current year ships more comics to comic book stores than Captain fucking America. Ironically, black character.
You know the difference, though? Spawn ain't gonna fucking preach to you.
True. It's very true. Folks, I'm going to level with you. Do you hate Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America as much as I do?
Yes.
Do you think that it's absolute fucking garbage? If so, we have the comic book for you.
Yes.
It is called Inglewood. And first off, let me just say this. I write black people better than Ta-Nehisi Coates does. You laugh, but you know it's true.
You know, I can't fucking deny it. I really can't.
So, we are almost at 4K. This thing hasn't been out for this Indiegogo has not even been up for a week and a half yet.
Nope. And we're at 55% funded.
Yeah, 55%.
129 backers.
130 now.
130 as of the time of recording. 130.
Plus, on top of that, we have also got part of the mock-up of the Inglewood shirt. And basically what's going to happen is his face will be made out of the words "Born in Blood."
We called it the Born in Blood shirt for a reason.
Yes. So for those of you who have backed the t-shirt tier, this is what you're getting. It's going to look badass. The pinup poster will be done at some point in the near future. Our artist who is doing that for us sadly got sick. So lend all of your power to our questionable weeb friend Chris so he can recover that much faster. But here, for a better image, if it loads, is the cover of Inglewood. Again, if it loads.
And yes, questionable weeb friend Chris.
That is not the cover. I'm sorry. This is the cover. Let me just zoom in on it. And it's gorgeous. Armand has done a phenomenal job.
It is. I am so very impressed with motion blur, the lighting effect on there. It looks really, really good. Like, so detailed.
Yep.
So fucking detailed.
Yep. So, needless to say, he and Brian, they worked very well together, I have noticed. I've also been looking at Brian and Brian's streams. He's even... If you think the pencils on this look good, like it's ready to be colored, he's like, no, I'm because some of these have the under image underneath them, but he's like, no, I'm actually gonna improve on these even more, and he has been. Like, this book's gonna look amazing.
Is it gonna look good?
Yeah. Now, on top of that, we also need to. We've announced this, but by the time that this is up. Sorry. I fucked something up, damn it. By the time this is up, yeah. By the time this is up, it will be July 11th. Meaning that between July 10th and the 31st is the Inglewood Art Contest. So if you have artistic chops and you would like to enter this contest as do fan art, please do so. You have 21 days to do it. It'll be judged by Brian and Armand. Top 5, you get featured in the director's cut. Top 3, you get a free comic. And the winner gets a Windy City special, which is shirt, poster, digital comic, collector's... not a collector's edition. Might as well be a collector's edition, but the director's cut, which is basically sketchbook plus comic plus a foreword by yours truly. So, needless to say, we are quite proud of this. Now, there was another question that was asked that was comic book oriented that I wanted to answer before we take off. And it was... I lost the fucking thing.
Swordsman 100.
And he say...
Will your Crusader comic be able to be purchased outside of Project Lazarus?
Yes, it is actually a prequel. So...
Yes. Referring to 3 Nights, 4 Days.
Yeah, we are looking, because it is a horror comic and we will be shipping out copies of Inglewood come October, we are looking to start the campaign for that in October. The campaign goal will be set a little higher, probably around 10,000, because it is going to be possibly a 100-page graphic novel. And then, of course, we will have a poster tier for you guys. We will have a... And the poster will not just be sexy pinup. Again, this is a horror story. I'm going to come up with something that's a little bit cooler than that, to be honest with you. that I will hire an artist to do, or unless Preston wants to do it, in which case I'm just gonna. Preston Acevedo is a fucking amazing artist, so I'm just fuck Preston, do whatever the fuck you want, man. But just don't put magical girls in it. But that one will probably have a 2-month funding time, I would think. 2 months, maybe 1.5. I haven't decided yet. But it depends on how quickly Inglewood gets funded. But and then it would be in demand for a bit, and then we would probably ship like a month and a half later. So yes, it will be its own thing. It will come before Project Lazarus. The goal for Project Lazarus is for it to start on, I want to say, January, if not December. December, January, somewhere around there. It is a book that I am very much looking forward to doing. I have been... Project Lazarus, when it comes out and it's in people's hands, and if that book is super successful, I might quit my day job because of all of the stress. And Hatman can tell you about how fucking stressed this book has had me over the last year of putting it together because of stuff that's gone on behind the scenes. And I'm not going to give details on because I would end up throwing someone under the bus that I don't want to throw under the bus. He's a good guy. It's just things didn't work out, but it's been a harrowing thing. I've wanted to put that comic out for ages now, and now we're at a point where I might be able to. I swear, when all of these books are out, I'm going to sleep for like a month.
A full month?
A full fucking month. I might just hibernate on my pile of money. I'm kidding. I'm not taking this money for myself. It's being paid to everybody else before it even gets to me. So... And even then, what I do make extra will probably be saved for the next project. So, man. So Inglewood, go back it. Link in the description. Digital tier's $5, guys. You read it on your Kindle. Enjoy that gorgeous art. It's gonna be awesome. And then we have discussed. We haven't said it yet, but the first stretch goal will probably be $10,000. And everybody who backs will get a free, everybody who backs something physical. So if we're shipping to you, we're gonna be adding in a goodie for you. It's gonna be a sticker that you can put on your car, put on your computer, or what have you. That is of the Solomon. That is of the Solomon's Temple gym from the comic. That is the first stretch goal. Another one that I am considering, like maybe if we hit like 20 grand, is I sign everything. Meaning I will take a weekend, I will go to North Carolina, because Hatman's handling all the shipping, and I will sign every single thing that you want me to sign. I will sign all of the posters. I will sign all of the physical comics. I will sign... If you want me to sign the shirts, I'll sign the shirts. I don't give a shit. I will sign everything if we get to 20,000.
We will punch the shirts. We will strap every shirt to a punching bag and punch them.
Fuck it. Why not? I'll do it. Punch all day. Actually sounds fun. But no, in all seriousness though, I would be willing to signing everything if we hit that stretch goal. People are saying that like this is going to be like a $50,000 campaign. If this is a $50,000 campaign, I probably could quit my day job.
If this ends up becoming a $50,000 campaign, I might hand deliver some of these out to y'all. Yeah. I might actually do it.
Yeah, I would be tempted to do the same thing.
I'm trying to find out if anyone is backed from North Carolina too, because if you did, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Another thing, don't forget, in August, we are going to be going to the International Conference on Men's Issues. I don't know if we will podcast from there. I can't make any guarantees of that. But we will definitely... Somebody will be recording the panels that we are on. So, I will ask to mirror on either my main channel or the Micah and the Hatman channel, depending on how long they are. If they're longer ones, I'll put them on here on the channel, and I'll put like a highlights version on my channel. You're hearing a clicking. I have a Switch that's charging in the other room, and I have no money for games for it. So I'm just going to finish setting it up, and yeah.
Some of y'all are backing from North Carolina.
Nice.
Bit out of the way from me. Well, that was like terrible. And at least one of you has backed from the Windy City itself, which is pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah, man.
Considered.
I know.
And somebody from Bloomington too.
That I'm not surprised by because I've told a few of my friends about it. But it wouldn't surprise me if Windy City Special is just some guy, because I know he's from Illinois too, and he's been tweeting out about the comic as well. So just some guy. Thank you, dude. But yeah, we need to take off though. I'm tired.
Yes.
So we appreciate you guys backing this project. We've been busting our asses over it. We're also working on the t-shirt stuff too. It's going to take some time, but we're going to get them out there. We know you guys want them. We want to sell them to you. So, like, don't underestimate how much we want to give this stuff to you. So, we're super excited. Thank you, of course, for bringing us questions. Thank you, of course, to all the people who are our patrons and also those who have donated. Yeah. So, another thing, just to poll the community, if you are interested in just me doing solo streams on my main channel, if that is something you would watch, if I do like a weekly wrap-up of news or something like that in the entertainment world, please do let me know if you'd be interested, and I will definitely consider it, because most of you guys pay me to do such things, and I'm not going to say no to money. So I am a capitalist. What can I say? You know, if you think my labor is worth it, and you would pay for me to be there, I will be there. You know, I do not turn down such opportunities, because every audience is an opportunity to make money. And every audience is an opportunity to make people smile. And that's what I'm all about. So, one final thing, just to thank you to the audience, is that, and I'm going to reorient my camera, so I'm actually looking at the camera. You guys have given me like a personal resurgence in my own personal life. You know, like lately, ever since this comic has come out, you can probably see that like my lats are back. Like my neck muscles are back. Basically, my muscles are back in general. That's because I've been working out again. You know, personally, I've been a very different person. I felt very different. I feel wanted. For the first time in a long time, I feel wanted by people. And I'm on cloud nine. Like, I had bad news happen this week and it didn't destroy me. For the first time in years. I hit a brick wall in my personal life and it didn't destroy me emotionally. I just like, fuck it. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to find a way around this. That's not my usual reaction. Usually it takes me a couple days. So you guys make this worth it for us. We have the best audience, bar none. And I'm very happy to entertain you, to say the least. And I want to stick around for a long time, because people say, we want to see Micah Curtis. We want to see the Vanilla Gorilla. You know, what's another nickname that I've been given? The Crusader, you know, the comic book Crusader, stuff like that. There was another one that I just got today that I really liked. The Prince of Pugilistic Polemic. I love it. I fucking love it. And I love you guys out there. Seriously. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take off. My name is Micah Curtis, the comic book Crusader, the Prince of Pugilistic Polemic, and your favorite Vanilla Gorilla.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, and people call me Hatman.
We will see you guys next time. Deus Volt.
Deus